This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Grace.
And today we hover back into the 22nd century. We're hovering everywhere with D&D techno music playing behind us and probably Lestrade getting into a car crash, hover car crash.
Yes.
In the 22nd century. Because, Grace is going to tell us her final episode of our Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're already here. We've come to the almost end. As I also have one more episode next week.
But it's not total end, almost end.
Yes, but until then, Grace, take it away.
Yes, and Alexis, this is my last Sherlock Holmes episode for now, as we always say as well.
And there will be more.
That sounds like a threat.
I've already
there will
some.
be more.
I know.
Process. I will do process. I will say, as I go through, picking on my episodes now, I absolutely look at them with the holiday arcs in mind to be like, don't do that one now. Try to remember in 6 months that you wanted to do this, and then I don't remember.
I've been writing a list, so
that's smart. I should
not freaking beat me to it.
Well, you know what? I don't write the list. I just say it in my mind.
Okay,
and
good.
I forget. So you probably are going to get them all. Yeah. Fingers crossed. So
lists are lame. Don't use a list. You don't need one. You're good.
Grace, lists are so uncool. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
So I happened, by kind of pure accident, though, to save what is now my favorite episode of Sherlock Holmes 22nd Century for last. I will say I did love your last week's episode. That was my other favorite so far. But this one is the favorite one that I have done so far. So
I'm excited.
We begin with a crackling, fading transmission from a huge ship that's slowly drifting off in space. And we just hear it barely say, damaged guidance system, drifting, radio disabled, we are doomed. And then it cuts out. And back in New London,
great.
On Earth, over here.
Back to the hustle and bustle of the city. Where you're not stranded in space.
The new hustle and the new bustle of the city of New London.
Of the new city.
Of the new city, New London. Sherlock and Lestrade are examining a fence that seems to have a huge hole burnt through it. And this fence is on the outskirts, or the outside of the perimeter, I guess, of a prison.
Okay. I was like, a fence? This better be some important fence. It is.
Yeah, I would say
it really is.
It really is. Especially one with a hole in it.
Yeah.
This is an important fence. An important fence to look at when it has a giant hole burnt through it, as Sherlock says that the prisoners seem to have used some type of chemical maybe to short circuit. Not only they cut through this fence, but then there's a force field around the perimeter of this prison.
Oh.
And they somehow were able to disable that.
And that's crazy. That's why.
With like some type of like invisible, that's why Sherlock is like, maybe it was a chemical. Like, I don't totally know. Because they were able to disable it and break through and get out.
Out or in?
Out.
Yeah, that's bad. Because that means that stuff was on the prison grounds and they concocted all of that.
Yeah, when he said chemical, I was like, y'all got to check those toilets.
No. Yeah.
What prison?
It's not just prison line.
Going on?
Yeah.
Tossing that on a force field? That's some strong shit.
To the point where it blows up or, that it like burns the force field out. Yeah.
Bad news bears.
They've called the right people. Okay, good. Yes. I'm glad that Sherlock and Lestrade and all them are here. This is good.
Exactly. But they did break out 3 days ago, and Sherlock is now just getting to this fence. So I don't know. Sure, they do point out
Spoke too soon.
3 days is Sherlock's kind of like 3 days is enough time. They could be on the moon by now. Yeah, exactly. Like it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
But
Great.
Sherlock's role in this investigation will have to continue later, for he gets a call from Watson that they have a visitor at Baker Street who's calling for him and says he knows Sherlock personally. So Sherlock rushes back home with Lestrade in tow because she's like, "Hi, excuse me, you have a visitor? That's nice. We have prisoners who've escaped." Like,
3 days
focus up.
ago.
Focus
Yeah,
up. This is
yeah.
way more important. But you can't tell Sherlock what to do. And so when they get there, Watson has already let the visitor in, made him some tea, made him comfortable. And this man is a guy named Victor Trevor. I'll just call him Victor.
Hmm.
And Holmes
Okay.
knows this guy.
Hmm.
Apparently,
Oh, that's right.
Victor Trevor is, well, I guess, yeah, first of all, Sherlock is a freelancer. So, like, he works on other
A
things.
lot of, yeah, yeah,
He's always in
yeah.
New
Okay.
Scotland Yard. But apparently, he and Victor had consulted together on some like joint case for a company, whether it was Victor's company or a different company,
Okay.
or like
Gotcha.
Victor's family's company or a different company. Like they've worked together
I
before and
see.
know each other personally. And Victor is, you guessed it, because Sherlock works with him, a hottie.
Of course.
As you can assume,
Yeah.
tall, dark, and handsome is Victor's
Of
vibe.
course.
He is a
Of
bit
course.
younger than them. He's probably in his like early 20s, like 24, 25, or something like that.
Hmm.
He's got short, brown, curly hair, thick brows, a square jaw, and wears like a blue, like kind of thick fisherman's sweater situation.
Hmm. Okay.
But,
Hiding all those muscles. Sherlock
oh,
knows what's up.
barely, barely hiding those muscles.
Barely.
That sweater, there's no sweater thick enough to hide the muscles on this gang, you know? So,
Sherlock knows who to surround himself with.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, oh
Sherlock's
yeah.
got standards. That's why he was like, yeah, Watson, you'll know if you should let this person, if they
Watson,
actually
we
know
got.
me, you'll know.
That's why he also was like, we got to get a mask on you, Watson.
That robo face, I cannot be seen with that.
Not working. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not working with the vibe, with the aesthetic of this gang. So, unfortunately, Victor is not here for a friendly visit, though. He's here
Mm.
because he's got a problem that he needs Sherlock to help solve. So, Victor explains that his father, Edward, is being blackmailed. And Holmes is a little skeptical of this at first, of just like everyone whose parent or someone acts weird assumes they're getting blackmailed. Like, lay out your case for me.
Uh, sure, I guess. Yeah,
I
I can't
mean,
quite relate. My mom has been acting so weird lately. I think she's being
she's being
blackmailed. Like
blackmailed. Yeah, Sherlock, I don't know, maybe
everybody says that.
everyone's so dramatic. It's very reminiscent of Lestrade, of like, they're just
Probably
runaways.
just being kidnapped. Yeah, that's right. And then when they're kidnapped, she's like, "Oh, it's just a kidnapping. Let's go."
Yeah, what's the big
Like,
deal?
like,
Yeah, so I guess
uh,
that this is Sherlock's
same
version of they're
vibe.
just runaways.
Yeah,
It's not blackmail or like
it's
people
not
thinking it's
blackmail.
blackmail.
Right, right.
But he does give him the time of day, and Victor explains. So his father is all of a sudden within the last few days withdrawing huge sums of money from their business, their family business, for no apparent reason. And when confronted
Hmm.
with it, his father, Edward, will not explain to Victor what's going on. All of the accountants have been trying to figure it out, and no one can figure out why he's taking all this money out and where it's
Hmm.
going. And so Victor went digging into Edward's office, and among all of his father's papers, he found this note. And the note says, quote, "To my third son, S-O-N, type of son,
Oh.
your Gloria was a Scot," unquote.
Hmm.
So to my third son, your
Okay.
Gloria was a Scot.
Hmm. Okay.
And this note doesn't make any fucking sense. Victor is
No,
like,
not really.
I'm the only son. There's not three sons. I'm the only one. And we don't
Oh,
know anyone named Gloria or Scott. Like,
God.
we don't, this makes no sense to me.
Hmm. Okay.
At this point, Lestrade is low key like, wow, I mean, it sucks to suck, but there are multiple prisoners on the loose, which is what we should be working on, and they could be anywhere. So maybe your dad's just being
Hmm.
fucking weird. this is not a priority, my dude.
Yeah, like super dangerous things are happening right now all over New London.
Yes.
Like,
So like, wow, sucks to suck, but like, I don't know, send your dad to therapy, like to
yeah,
distance yourself from him. I don't know. Good
yeah.
luck.
Wait, like, so he hasn't gone missing or anything, right?
No.
Like Victor just found that, or not Victor, sorry, Trevor just found that
Or
note
yeah, Victor Trevor.
there.
Two first
Or
names
sorry,
very
Victor Trevor.
confusing.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Wait. So yeah,
Victor.
Victor. And it's crazy because in my next episode, there's a character named Trevor. So I'm trying to also
Oh God.
separate the
Okay.
two.
Forget I
It's
even said Trevor. Forget I even said the
just
name
Victor,
Trevor.
Victor,
Just
Victor.
Victor. Just
But okay,
Victor.
so yeah, like there's no crime. It's just like, all
No.
right, cool, your dad's being weird. We'll get back to you next week.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like
Like,
we'll get back to you once they're all of the people have been apprehended who broke out of prison. You've seen. Hey,
exactly.
Victor. You've seen this in the news. It's everywhere. It's every headline.
Right. Everywhere,
You
literally.
know
Our
this is
jobs are on
happening.
the line here, Victor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably your life as well. We'll see.
Yeah.
But Sherlock, Alexis, he's not like us. We know this.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
says, well, we got Watson. Watson will go help you, Lestrade. I'm intrigued by this note and what's
I
going
mean,
on
fair. Yeah,
with
that's fair.
Edward. So, call me if you need me on this perp case, but
If you
like,
want to beat me.
call me if you want to reach me. Or like, what?
Huh?
A beeper? We're just gonna
Huh?
hologram
We'll just
ourselves to
hologram
you if we
message
need
you.
you.
Okay.
A beeper, huh? So
Nice.
Sherlock is like, Victor is my friend and I'm gonna help a friend in need. So like, bye. And he just walks out with
Hmm.
Victor and they leave. Also, if I'm
Okay.
Lestrade, I'm immediately calling him, being like, he said, call if I need you. We need you.
We need you. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, please help.
Yeah.
So we go with Sherlock and Victor here, and they are headed to Edward's house, which again is Victor's dad. And Victor's
Right.
explaining that it's not just actually his dad that's been acting weird. There's been some weird shit going on around
Hmm.
them lately. For example, like as they like hover car to the house, um, Victor points out, oh yeah, you see that man across the street who's laying on the roof across from my father's house with binoculars and like night vision goggles. Yeah, he's been posting up around the neighborhood watching the house for a few days now.
Um,
So
so
shit's a little weird, a little
yeah,
confusing here.
a little
And
confusing. Making the whole like
yeah,
he's being blackmailed situation
little
a little bit more likely, at
stalked,
least,
blackmailed,
Yeah.
at least something
Yeah.
is something
Something's up.
more than what we thought was potentially going on.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not just acting weird.
Yeah, he's maybe terrified for his life. We'll see. There's
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
stalking him, question mark.
Like I'd
And
probably act a little weird too if I was being stalked or was terrified for my life. Like,
exactly.
or I'd be at least not acting normal. That's
Normal.
for sure.
I wouldn't be chill, is at the
Yeah,
very
let's
least
put it
what I
that
would
way.
say.
Yes. Yes.
And things continue to get weirder because they walk inside of Edward's house and there's another man there. So we first have Edward. He's an older man, probably I don't know in his like 60s or something.
Hmm.
He's got thick gray curly hair and some facial hair. He does look similar to like his son Victor. They've got like similar hair texture.
Mm.
But before Victor can introduce Holmes, who's there to like interview Edward to like try and see if he can figure out what's
Yeah.
going on,
Yeah.
Edward introduces them to the other man who's in the room. And it's a man named Mr. Hudson. I'll just call him Hudson. And Hudson is about the same age, probably like in his 60s. He's got gray hair. He's bald on top, like hair along the side. He's got a
Hmm.
thick gray beard. And Edward explains that Hudson, effective immediately, is the new partner at the family firm. And Victor will now be answering to him, Mr. Hudson. So
Okay.
I'll pause real quick to remind you of all the characters because there's a lot of new characters happening. So we've got Victor, who's the
The
son
son.
and Holmes's friend who reported the blackmail.
Yes.
Edward is Victor's dad, who's been withdrawing funds, acting a little weird. And
Right.
Hudson is the new partner at the firm. Man on the roof, a creep.
Also older man. Probably needs to be reported to the feds.
Yes.
Anything else? Anyone else? I think we've covered the bases.
Mm-mm.
All right.
As everyone
Nice,
so far.
nice.
But
Okay, so the gang's all here.
the gang
And
is all.
Hudson, wait, and so Victor is just meeting Hudson for the first time? Or
Yes,
was
he's
only
never seen this
Sherlock
man
was? Okay,
before in his
gotcha.
life.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
he is immediately pissed and
You know,
like,
he's
what
like,
the
yeah, you're taking over
like,
the company? I was going to say the
yes.
country.
I
LOL. I mean,
mean, who's to
basically.
say?
Yeah.
Yes. And so before he can protest though in full, like Sherlock has to grab his shoulder and like hold this man back.
You're
Edward
so
and
strong.
oh, hey, what you been lifting lately? This shoulder, these delts.
You
Oh,
go to the gym without me, man.
Victor, we talked about this. But before Victor can protest fully or throw some blows, we'll see. Edward and Hudson leave for another room to discuss business. And Holmes again holds Victor back. And he pulls the note out again and says, like, let's focus on this. Victor can't focus on this fucking letter. He's like, my dad is clearly losing his mind. Who is this Hudson guy? Like, what? This note doesn't make any sense. My dad is clearly like losing his mind. But Sherlock is examining the note again and thinks there must be some clue in it. And he keys in on the word third. So again, you're my third son or your third son. And he says, what if we take every third word after that, which is quite a short note. But if we do that, we get Gloria Scott, which sounds like a name. Again, Victor before said, I don't know anyone named Gloria or named Scott, but is there someone named Gloria Scott that your dad worked with or a company or something like that? But again, Victor is like, this rings no bells.
A bell. Yeah.
At all. And Holmes has one more question, though, that this is something else Victor turns out isn't aware of or like doesn't know the answer to. Holmes noticed that on Edward, Victor's dad, that he has two tattoos, like on his arm. He has the initials J.A., so like J.A, and underneath that is like a barcode type of design. Yeah, a little weird. And
interesting.
Holmes is like, do you know what that's all about? And Victor says, Dad won't talk about it. Like, I've asked him my whole life. The whole 24 years I've been on this earth. I don't know. And yeah, that was my reaction. I was like, Victor, honey, no, I don't know who you think your dad is, but he's got a lot of secrets.
A sort of tattoo that you ask for, like, hey, Dad, what's the story about that? And if your dad falls into like PTSD, like 1,000-yard stare,
maybe drop it.
Like
maybe,
well, yes, but also like you kind of want to get to the bottom of it, though. Like,
maybe
like,
ask mom.
Yeah. Right, find mom, find your aunts and uncles, find granddad, grandma if they're still around.
Yeah,
you gotta get to the bottom of it.
You gotta get to the bottom of it. But maybe ask some family members
brush that off.
Ease into it.
Yeah. Something is amiss. Something ain't right here.
It's something. We got some questions here, and their speculating is interrupted when they hear yelling from the next room. And they hear Edward screaming that Hudson is asking too much. And more shouts erupt. And so Victor
asking about the tattoo too.
Just wear long sleeves, Edward. People stop asking.
Come on.
Just put long sleeves on. Stop wearing t-shirts. So Victor and Holmes obviously run into that room. But as soon as they run in, Hudson and Edward stop yelling at each other. And instead, Edward starts yelling at Victor and Holmes, telling them to get out of there, accusing them of spying and eavesdropping, like starting to call Holmes a spy, which, like, y'all were screaming. So, like, kind of hard not to overhear.
We all heard you. The man across the street.
On the roof?
On the roof heard you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Victor throws off the accusation and demands to know if his father knows, or like demands to know who or what Gloria Scott is. And this sets Edward over the fucking edge. He, first of all, says he doesn't know that name and starts yelling at Holmes to stop interfering with his family affairs and tells him he better get his, no, he didn't say get his ass off his property, but he does tell Holmes to get
Yeah.
off his property. And
Yeah. Oh,
Hudson backs him up saying that, yeah, if you don't leave this property, I'll make you leave.
jeez.
And yeah, at this point, Victor is like,
First of
excuse
all,
moi, like, who do
yeah.
you think you are, Hudson? Like,
Yeah.
and
This is
they
my
all start,
house.
yeah, exactly. Like, this is my house.
Mhm.
And they all start yelling more and more. But then
And
all
Sherlock is
the,
also like he was invited there. He didn't
right,
just
like, I am,
stroll in out of nowhere.
yeah, I'm not some
Yeah.
riffraff off
I'm
the
a
street
guest.
here. I
Yeah.
was invited. And so they're all yelling at each other. But all of a sudden, we hear kind of like, it seems like down the street, like they had the window open, they're on a balcony or something like that. They all, like, there's a bunch of dogs who suddenly start barking. And at that exact same moment that the dogs start barking, Hudson all of a sudden, like, grabs his ears and, like, crumples over like he's in a ton of pain. And this makes Edward absolutely panic, like what's
Yeah.
happening to his, like, this person. And also at this point, Holmes is like, well, we clearly overstayed our welcome, so Victor, let's
We're gonna, hey,
skedaddle
yeah,
down and hit
you
that
asked me
old
to leave.
dusty trail.
I
I
will head on out.
leave. Well,
Goodbye.
looks like it's time for me to hit that old dusty trail, right, Victor? Right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And they skedaddle right
Yeah.
around there. And as soon as they leave, the dog barking dies down, and Hudson snaps right back up and looks at Edward and says, we'll have to do something about that snooping Holmes, because how did he know about Gloria Scott?
Oh.
And Edward tells him to cool it. Like, you gotta calm down. You're overreacting. And, like, don't do this. And Edward is like, don't do this or what? You're gonna what? Call New Scotland Yard? Like, okay, sure. Edward, sure. So Hudson doesn't think the authorities could be called here to help them, stop them. We're not sure yet.
Yeah.
And speaking of New Scotland Yard, by the way,
Yeah. Yeah. What are they up to?
Lestrade and Watson have been there, working on the whole prisoner escape case.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I will say this other case, obviously with Trevor's, is getting a little bit more interesting and intriguing, and clearly something is going on here.
Something is amiss.
But this case that Lestrade and Watson are covering this is obviously still the much more important case.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So. And I will say, New Scotland Yard has been doing a good job. They've managed, there was like a handful of prisoners who escaped, and all but 2 have been caught at this point.
Oh, okay.
I know. So, like, they've been getting to work. They've been, like, tracking them down.
Yeah.
But
patching up that fence, the hole in the fence in the force field, I hope. Checking the toilets for prison line. Closing down all shipments and everything, and
really patting everyone down.
Commissary.
Not letting any mysterious cakes in and out. Like, you never know how they're sneaking stuff in here.
Saying. Yeah.
So, unfortunately, though, these last 2 prisoners, including one who seems to be like the brains behind this operation, they have no idea where they are. There's no trace of these last 2.
Okay.
And Watson, Watson suggests that maybe like that we haven't been able to catch them. They've probably like been constantly on the move, which probably means not by foot. They're probably using like pretty easily accessible transport to try and get around, which would help them like avoid obvious detection if they're like constantly on the move.
Yeah.
So they decide to, it's New Scotland Yard. Also, I think London today in the year 2026 is famously very heavily surveilled, not in the way that the US is, where it's like, oh no, you're not surveilled, hee hee. I think London right now is like famously like, oh no, there's cameras on every single street corner, you're constantly being watched. And the same in New London. So they decided to start going through some footage of like different like stations to see if they see people kind of like who keep popping up at a lot of them, looking sketch, like what's going on. But we'll leave them combing through footage for right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we go back to
They've got
Baker
their work cut
Street.
out for them.
They got a lot going on. And like probably
They're
not a lot
definitely
of time.
saving all those extra files too. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this will come in handy for next week's
Yes. Next
investigation.
week.
Let's
Oh,
just
this person looks
save all this
sketchy. This
data.
person looks sketchy.
Exactly. We love to see it.
So,
Oy.
so Holmes and Victor are back at Baker Street, where
Hmm.
Holmes is trying to do more research on Edward. He's trying to get the full picture and profile of Victor's dad. And everything that Victor has been able to tell Sherlock about his dad has been like corroborated on the internet, you know, the vast internet of the 22nd century.
Oh God, I can't even imagine.
Can't
Ugh.
even imagine. And I think New Scotland Yard's records as well. But interestingly, nothing. Victor
Hmm.
only knows like about his dad kind of around the time he was born, and then what he's known about his dad when he's been
Which
alive. He doesn't
even
know
that
like
is like, gosh, nothing.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
dude.
Like he's only got that. And also looking things up on the internet, there's nothing going further back than 25 years on
Okay, there was definitely some
Edward.
sort of like Library of Alexandria event, like we said
Right in
the
the
other day, 25 years ago. So we thought it was like three, like or so years
three, no,
before. It
it
was
was
absolutely 25 years
20,
before the show started. There was a massive event that destroyed like everything,
everything,
every
everything.
record. Yeah, this is the world
Civilization.
rebuilt after.
Yes, again, that was the finally the nuclear apocalypse happened.
Yeah, because there's
Everything.
no way there's not more records on a guy like this who
There's
owns this
nothing.
massive corporation and clearly,
That's
yeah, like
and that's when the
really,
record starts is when he started his business
yeah,
is when the
interesting.
records start 25 years ago. And Victor says, yeah, like the year after he started his business is when my parents got married, and like a year later I was born, and like I don't know anything before that because again,
Hmm.
the great robot wars
Event.
happened.
Great robot wars. The first Moon War.
The
Moriarty was
first
trying to start the second Moon War.
Moon War One.
World War One and Moon War Two.
Yes, Moriarty is like Moon War
Yeah.
Three. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Maybe if we got a third season, who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew what could have
We got
happened?
renewed.
Yeah, we were gunning for Moon War 3 in season 3. It would have been epic. Oh well.
Hey, the
If
year is
anyone
still
wants to
young,
pick up
Moriarty.
Sherlock Holmes in the 23rd century,
Yes. Keep
we've
him
got a good
around.
episode idea.
Yeah, we're bringing it back. But yes, it's very sketch that they don't know anything before 25 years, because even some
Yeah.
things survive from the Great Moon Wars. Like his
Yeah.
father's
A
memory,
few
he could have
things.
told him what happened before that,
Right, right.
but he
Did you not
hasn't.
talk to your children? Which, I don't know, maybe it's
He's
a,
proven he doesn't. We
yeah,
don't know what his dad did in those Great Moon Wars. We
true.
don't know.
Honestly, and that's what the barcode tattoo is from. That was
Yes,
like
be a
his
soldier.
military, like his soldier,
Yeah,
like
like
I don't know,
Sherlock's.
like his whole ID or what do you call it, like biometrics, all of his
Yes, like Sherlock's the
information.
only man of his age who doesn't have one because he
Yeah,
was
because he
in
was
Honey at
in
the time,
honey.
but every other man has one who was at least 25, 18 years old in, 25 years before.
Oh, hell yeah. This is our lore now. This is the lore.
Absolutely. But even more concerning
Mhm.
is they go there again, like, well, we're already looking stuff up in a New Scotland Yard's database. Let's look up this Hudson character. Because,
Mm.
as we know, New Scotland Yard has records on everyone, including everybody's DNA in New Scotland Yard or in London slash England slash the UK.
Yeah.
And it's not just that they don't have the DNA for this guy, he's just not in there at all.
Oh.
I presume they know his first name at this point, but like they, there's no one who comes up by whatever name, Hudson, whatever, or first name, whatever, Hudson. Like,
Yeah.
there's nobody in all of New Scotland Yard's records.
Interesting.
And so they put a pin in
That's been
that.
happening a lot to them lately. Yeah.
Exactly. They
Like,
put a little
why is
pin in
this
that
person not in the
guy.
records? Okay.
Yeah, the records, they're apparently not very good at this. And
Mhm.
as for, they do look up Gloria Scott, but it's pretty unhelpful. It's a pretty generic name.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of women with that name.
50,000. Yeah.
Yeah, no one, they've got like clear connections to Edward.
Mm.
at least not in the last 25 years. So they decide, they're like, well, what if we went to like the business headquarters, like the company HQ, and like poked around in there? And as they go out the front door to like get in the hover car, they clock immediately that they're being watched.
Hey.
And as they get in the hover car, they're like, we're about to get in their hover car. They're like, oh, and we're about to be followed. Like someone is on our tail. And Sherlock, though, is like, well, probably means we're onto something. Like whatever we're chasing, whatever like trail we've got right
Must
now.
be good.
Like, let's keep going down it. They obviously don't want us to be sniffing around here.
Right.
So we see them, yeah, like I said, they're going to like, I think the company HQ, and we see them, or we see it land, and we see kind of like down at the street from the HQ in a different hover car, our creep from the roof is,
I
yes.
was wondering, I was like, is that the guy who's still stalking them? Yeah.
Same guy. He's moved on to their tail. And we see him
like,
get out.
We're going on a field trip. I don't get to do this
roof.
often.
So uncomfortable. It's chilly up
Back has
there.
been killing me laying
God,
up here
you know
like
how foggy
this.
and rainy it is in New London? I'm cold.
It'd be nice to kind of get out of the office for a day.
Ooh, maybe I'll grab some lunch while I'm out. Company card. So he gets out a remote control and hits a big old red button on it. And we don't know what that's all about, but you know, he's
can't be good.
Yeah, a big red button?
Good. Yeah,
can't
never.
Be good.
Rarely good.
Rarely good. And like I said, the other hover car that Holmes and Victor were traveling in lands in front of the company HQ. And the hover car quite literally explodes.
No, I knew you were gonna say it, but I still wasn't ready for you to say it.
Like,
just because like it doesn't really make sense.
Like
but,
not
but I know it looks awesome on the camera.
This shot, like the animator said, we finally get to really explode something. The animator said, what if we go film a real fire and put it in? Like that is the like level of
That's
like,
right, because they do like the CGI plus.
Yes,
like,
it's like the CGI
animation.
like a fire so hot that it's like almost purple type of thing. Like flames everywhere. Like
no,
the street engulfed, pieces of metal, shards of glass, projectiling everywhere.
Oh my God. Which also like good thing they got out of it.
We didn't see him get out.
No. No.
Did you not hear me say they parked? I didn't say they got out of.
I guess I just wanted to assume they did because we're not going to see people get exploded in a cartoon, right?
This is like, you know, when there's I think of like an oil fire, like oil everywhere, and the fire like spreads really quickly across the ground. That's happening from, I guess, the gas exploding everywhere. It's bad. This whole street is aflame in a gas fire now, in addition to, again, the projectiling of the metal and glass shards, smoke covering everything.
Everywhere. Yeah.
And, I mean, the one plus, they were probably really onto something good if someone was, you know, willing to murder them.
And a lot lot of people who are passers like very close by, innocent bystanders.
They're definitely catching buildings on fire. And yes, they must have been on something really good, which you guessed, as Holmes explains to Victor from a nearby building, because they just set their car to like remote drive to the location because they were like, well, we're being followed. Let's just hit remote.
Also,
and then we'll catch a cab, head down there to see what happens.
Yeah.
So, yes, they were like, whew, this is getting good. Sherlock's like, oh boy. I'm so
interesting. It's like you just see carnage in front of him.
It's literally they're standing next to all of the flames, and Victor's like, that could have been me. And Holmes is like, oh.
You just hear sirens in every direction, just bodies everywhere.
Holmes is just stepping over the charred corpses of like a paper boy who was biking nearby.
Like, A little girl who was selling lemonade on the corner.
Exactly. Yeah.
An old
Presumably
grandmother who was just leaving the bank across the
a Boy
street.
Scout who was
Just,
helping her across the street. Like,
yeah. A doctor who's just
yeah.
going for a run, just like all the most innocent people you could
Yes.
ever think of. Like, and Holmes
Just
just stepping over them.
corpses
Excuse
charred.
me. Yeah, not even
Yeah.
saying excuse me. They
No,
can't
he's holding
hear
up
him.
his trench coat so it
Anyways,
doesn't get
yeah,
ashy and dusty and guts on it. And Victor is, yeah,
yeah.
just like, he just saw his life flash before his
Traumatized.
eyes. His
Yeah.
eyes, huge.
Like, what are we doing? What's
Holmes is
happening?
literally like, okay, well, you call the fire department. I'll call
Uh-huh.
New Scotland Yard. Like,
Yeah.
and Victor's like, oh, okay,
Okay.
okay,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
all right, all right. And, Holmes, I will say, does call New
Oh God.
Scotland Yard because, the car
Good.
bomb of it all.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like,
For good reason. Good
a,
reason.
a pseudo officer was almost murdered, so,
Hmm.
he calls this in.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a hold of Lestrade, though. She's on the other case. And luckily, though, like, again, this is a bunch of fire department, like, fire trucks are showing up, and,
Yeah.
lots of people are calling, probably, I think it's what, 999 in the UK, 111, 999, whatever it
Oh.
is.
Mhm.
And the cops come as well, ambulances,
Yeah.
fire trucks,
Yeah.
et cetera, et
Everyone is
cetera.
reporting. Yeah.
Everyone's reporting
To the
in
scene.
to the
Mhm.
scene, and the Yardies are able to apprehend the guy, the creep, with the night
Oh,
vision
good.
goggles / remote.
Okay.
So,
That's
like,
progress.
okay, pop off. And
Yeah. Do your
once
job.
they get him, they realize he was one of the escaped prisoners who they hadn't gotten yet.
Oh, that's wild.
Hmm.
And very, very bad.
uh-huh. And
Oh no.
very, 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 very bad. So,
Yeah. Where did he
the
get
all of
bombs?
that.
Well, I guess also they had maybe it was the same thing that he used to break down that force field and get through the to the fence. I don't know. Okay. Do
So,
tell.
either way, though, like you said, very, very
Very
bad.
bad.
Bad things are
Mhm.
happening. And Victor, of course, deeply traumatized. He's at this point trying to call his dad, being like, Dad, Dad, I think this is more serious than we thought. I don't know what it is, but this is bad.
You like you just hear the sirens behind him on the voicemail
Yes.
and just like
Dad.
screams and like people rushing, police officers like yelling instructions.
Yes.
Just absolute
EMTs,
chaos
like,
behind.
clear,
Yeah.
clear.
Clear. Yeah. Run, run, run. Get him over here. We need more blood. We need more
Yeah. Yeah, just
blood.
like
Dad,
full
I think
carnage.
this is more serious.
Dad, can you pick me up?
I think you should be more concerned than you are, Dad.
Dad, you seem a
This is
lot. I know
really
you were yelling
bad.
the other day, but I'm not mad at you. Could you pick me up, please? Dad, I'm only 24. Is this the Great Robot Wars again?
Is this like
Dad?
what Moon War 2 was like?
Dad?
Uh,
So, yes, they go back to Edward's house to see if he's there. And not only is he not there, which is why he wasn't picking up the calls, but
okay.
they find
Understand.
another note. And
The
this one
notes.
says, leave another note. And this one says, Victor, I know 4 is too many. The pheasants seem odd game, but the sense is from the bottom up. Your father. And Victor again is like, the fuck? But Holmes immediately clocks a similar code, but this time instead of every third word, he thinks it's every fourth word because he says
Hmm.
4 in it. And so he
Yeah.
decodes the message to say, the game is up.
I was hoping it would say a foot. How cool would that have been?
That would have been
Except
so much
also,
better.
yeah, yeah.
Sherlock would have been
The
like,
game is up.
this isn't a code. This is not a message. No one can say that but me. I don't know. Sorry.
This is trash.
Don't know what to tell you.
The game is
So,
up. Okay.
meanwhile, the reason it turns out they couldn't get a hold of Lestrade when he called New Scotland Yard is because she and Watson, yes, like I said, were going through security footage of like different transport stations. And they spotted two people who were appearing at multiple stations in quick succession, not like carrying bags or anything, as if they're running errands and looking a little sketchy. And so they decide to
Mhm.
go to the like station they were most recently seen at, just go ask them some questions, just a
Yeah,
routine check. So they are out in the field doing that, which is why Sherlock wasn't able to get a hold of them when he called New Scotland Yard again about the car bomb situation. Pretty serious though, but
yeah, I was
Lestrade
gonna
probably really
say,
hopes she picked
would have
up
been
on
a
that
good
though.
time.
She's
Yeah.
gonna have some
It's like,
regrets
damn, I
there.
missed out. That would have been fun.
That would have been a hell of a scene. The boys are
Yeah.
gonna be talking about this in the break room for weeks now. Weeks.
FOMO.
Yeah, she deaf, most deaf.
Yes.
And so yes, Watson and Lestrade go to the station and just casually bump into these two people and say that, oh, we're just doing like a routine check. We've been asking everyone up and down here. Just can we see your papers, like your IDs? We're just checking some stuff here.
Mm.
Which, I guess that's a normal thing to happen in New Scotland
I
Yard
was
because
like,
people
I
at the
hate
station
it.
are doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
wasn't
Let me
gonna
see your ID. Let me,
I was gonna
like,
was trying not to pause on that
who
too
the hell are
hard, but
you?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good. Not good,
No.
not good, and not good.
No.
But we the viewers clock immediately that we've seen these men before. Because
Oh.
these two men who've been bouncing around a bunch are Hudson and Edward, Victor's dad.
Oh.
And
Okay.
Hudson is like, of course you can see my paper. Oh, what a mix them up. I left them at home. I left my other pants.
Oh,
Can you
look at me though.
believe?
Come on.
Come
Come
on,
on.
I'm just a cute little old man. Me, oh, just a cute little old
Yeah. Come
man.
on.
Like, you know what? I will be sure to carry them next time. I'm so sorry.
Hmm.
I'm just an old man. What am I supposed to do? I forget things left, right, and
Hmm.
center these days. If it wasn't
Yeah.
screwed onto my body, I'd lose my head. You
I
know?
lose my head.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know what I'm saying, right?
Come
And
on.
Lestrade turns to Edward and asks to see his papers, ignoring Hudson's act, essentially.
Oh yeah.
And Edward, those eyes darting around, darting to Hudson, darting to Lestrade, darting to Hudson, darting to Lestrade. He starts sweating.
Mm.
He's barely getting out the name Edward Trevor. He's stuttering. Lestrade is those eyes are getting more and more narrow at him. Her and Watson with their badges out are taking a little step closer.
It's like 5 minutes ago is when she asked them, and like, they're still just standing there, like,
Edward,
guys,
and
guys.
Hudson is still like, I don't know about these papers.
I have no clue. And Edward's just still like looking side to side, like sweating. And Lestrade and Watson are still just staring there and looking at them like 4.5 minutes have gone by. Like, guys.
Lestrade's answering emails on her like little arm device. But eventually, Edward puts his hands on his head and starts crying and says, Edward is not my real name. My real name is
What a
James
break.
Armitage. And this man, and he points at Hudson, is Leonard Henry.
Okay.
And
All
at
these
this,
first
double the
name,
first
last
names.
name having folks.
Motherfuckers
Gosh.
over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Good Lord, making it so hard.
And Hudson, aka Leonard, starts
Okay.
screaming at Edward, aka James Armitage, about being a
Yeah.
rat as this happens. So, obviously, Lestrade's been just dangling those cuffs in her hands
Yeah, she's like,
for
these fools are
4
gonna
minutes and
break at
45
any minute.
seconds.
Yes.
Like, they
That's why they
obviously
didn't leave.
just
They let them just stand there and waste their time for 5 minutes because she's like, yeah, I mean, I know where this is ending.
something's gonna come out.
The second
This
you broke
guy,
a sweat and started having shifty eyes, I was like, oh, these guys are totally getting arrested.
I don't know for what yet, but for
Yeah,
something.
but something.
At least not having their papers, apparently.
Yeah.
So, yes, they bring them in. They book them.
Hmm.
And before they go ask them any questions, they do run a quick check situation on these two men with their real names. So again, I will just call them by the names we knew them by.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's gonna be so
Okay.
fucking confusing.
Yeah. I was
So
like, there's a Leonard and a Henry and a Hudson and a,
it's
I
too
don't even
many,
know.
too
Yeah.
many. But they run a check on those actual names that were given, and it's pretty interesting because those men, along with a few others, including someone who, as Lestrade and Watson arrived, had just gotten booked for blowing up a
Mm,
car and,
yeah, no big
being
deal.
one of the escaped prisoners,
Yeah.
who was getting booked at the same time. So it's an exciting day at New Scotland Yard. That
Yeah.
these three men, so car bomber, Edward, and Hudson, along with a couple other people, they were on a ship about 25 years ago named the Riley. And it's a pretty famous ship because that
Hmm.
ship, again, 25 years ago, was
Uh,
a,
the event happened.
a prison shuttle ship headed to the moon that is
Oh.
infamous because a what they thought was an impossible ship to escape from. The prisoners escaped from that ship. So clearly not
Wow.
impossible, but yeah, 25 years ago there was a moon
Massive prison
prison
escape.
shuttle
Shuttle
escape
escape.
that happened. So pretty hard to escape in space, but
Yeah, I mean,
these
I
are
was like, I
three of the
guess there
men who
had to be
did.
some sort of escape pods, I
Yep.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Hmm. Okay.
pretty interesting.
Pretty crazy.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and it's been an enduring mystery, not only how this escape happened, because again, they were
Yeah.
like, this is an impossible thing to do, but also mystery about what happened to
Hmm.
the escapees because they were never heard from again.
Yeah. Hmm.
But now they got three of them hooked up to those lobotomy machines.
So,
So,
no, don't, no, 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 no. Do not like wash their memory. What the hell? You can
so
solve so much of this. Okay. Okay. Thank
this
you.
this time they are correct. This time the
Okay. Good.
lobotomy machine's just a threat because yes, that's exactly what they're
Good.
thinking. They're like, we finally have at least three of those escapees from that like
Yeah.
infamous incident. Like, let's go ask them some questions.
Exactly.
So they start with Edward because he clearly is the easy one to break.
Yeah, right. He freaking sung like a canary, man.
Well, it took 4.5
One
minutes.
one look from Lestrade and he folded like a cheap tent. Oh
Like
my God.
cheap
It's a
tent,
house of
baby.
cards all along, man.
He
She blew
just just
one
a
little
little
blow of
speck of
air on him and
dust
he just collapsed. He
folded,
melted.
baby.
Oh my gosh.
In a heartbeat. She blinks at him, and the dust from her eyelash blows on that house of cards, and it falls
Totally falls over. She's like,
falls
"Yeah, I
apart.
think I know who we should interview
I think
first,
we know what we're starting
who we
with.
should interrogate first." Yeah.
Yep. So yes, they go and talk to him first. Again, the lobotomy machine is just for the intimidation. And they ask, yes, like, how did they break out of this inescapable prison shuttle? How did you get back to Earth? And how were you living free as a bird for the last 25 years?
Yeah.
And I was like, I wish we had more of this happening of they do good cop, bad cop.
Oh yeah.
I bet you can guess who's who. Watson, of
Which is kind
course.
of crazy. Oh yeah, that's right. Sherlock's not there. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
Watson and
Watson
Lestrade.
is like, look, it was genius, whatever you did. And look, if you just explain what happened, we can help you. You know,
Uh-huh.
we can make this
Uh-huh.
easier on you.
Oh, thanks, Watson. Okay. Yeah, buddy.
And
All
the
right.
stride, like fully again, like this man's like sitting back, like hooked in a chair.
Yeah.
Lestrade slams her fist above the machine and gets like 3 inches from his face and goes, there's another prison shuttle heading for the moon in 3 hours. And if you don't start fucking singing, your name's on it. Like, you're going back to the penal colony that's on the moon, by the way,
Oh,
which
yikes.
I hate to see
Oh,
that happen.
oh, how far away is that from Galileo City?
Probably other
That's
side.
on the dark side of
Dark
the
side of
moon.
the moon.
Yeah.
Well, even darker because we know on this prison penal colony, they say at one point it's also where they farm a bunch of stuff. So yeah, it's a work camp. It's a work prison camp on the moon. So we
Oh my
really hate to see it
God.
in my mind. But
Okay.
at this point, Edward, he's clammed up. He has
Hmm.
nothing to say. He isn't breaking this time. And Lestrade, she calls basically that the other yardies and she basically says like, get this scumbag out of my precinct. And
Get him up to the moon.
he's getting on that moon shuttle. He gets carted away.
Mm.
He didn't talk, so he's out of there.
Get him out of my sight.
And at this moment, Holmes and Victor get to New Scotland Yard because, they were just in a car
Mhm.
bombing. They got to answer some questions. And they were
I
pretty
did somehow forget about that.
key witnesses to the situation.
Yeah.
That then ties into a plot that's bigger than apparently just that.
Hmm.
And they are none the wiser so far about what's been happening with Edward. And so they find Lestrade and Watson, and they're actually coming in also to report Victor's dad missing. They're like, we don't know what happened
Mm.
to Edward. And Lestrade is not listening at all to what they have to say. As soon as they walk in trying to be like, Lestrade, we have him missing, she's like, you'll never guess what I just fucking got into. Remember some
You
of
want
the
to hear
scoop?
about some real good police work?
Yeah, literally, she's just like, well, you guys are solving some blackmail? Sure, cute. You
Told
want to know
you.
who I just fucking
Told you it was
bagged?
nothing.
Yeah, not only did this car bombing prisoner get clocked in here, but
Hmm.
turns out I just got two infamous prisoners, which, by the way, Alexis, as they were
Hmm.
looking up this real name of Hudson, turns out he also was the last prisoner of this recent prison breakout,
Ah.
the potential mastermind behind it.
So the two that were still at large were the stalker guy on the roof and Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
But Edward was one of the prisoners from that shuttle
Ship. Yep, from the
ship
shuttle.
25 years ago.
Yep, as were
Hudson
the
was
other two.
not. Oh, the other two were too. Okay,
Yep.
gotcha. Okay.
Yep. All three of them were on the shuttle.
Were.
Only
But then
two
the
of them were
two were at
recently
large
at
from,
large.
yeah, recent events.
Recent
Okay.
breakout
Interesting.
from like
Okay.
the 3 day ago breakout.
Mm.
And yeah, Lestrade is like, yeah, that prisoner breakout from 3 days ago, solved, done. They're all in custody. And
Hmm.
that the prisoners from the Riley, done. And Sherlock is like, the Riley? Like, what is that? And Watson
Yeah.
and Lestrade are like, you don't know about that.
You know
Oh
the
my God.
Riley? Was that not on one of the tapes we gave you?
Yeah, it was a pretty
What?
huge deal. And like Lestrade is like chuckling. She's like, oh my God, that shit was such a scandal that
Yeah.
Gloria made them take her name off the ship. Like crazy. And
Oh.
yes, Sherlock is like,
Wait.
a squeamy?
So
Who?
say that again.
Yes, pause, back
Word
up,
for word. Yeah.
reverse, 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 rewind. And
Yeah.
Watson is like, oh yeah, the famous scientist, like lunar scientist, Gloria Scott Riley, was named, like the shuttle was named after this, but that incident was so embarrassing that she was basically like, get my name out your mouth. Like, and they
I
renamed the
mean,
ship just to the Riley.
yeah, I guess it's embarrassing, but like
Your name
you
was also a
designed
prison
the
shuttle?
ship that well, also one, like, yeah, you should have been protesting much
Yeah,
longer before
sooner.
you did. But
Yes.
also if like you made the shuttle, like the shuttle worked, it did its job. It's not like the shuttle failed. It's just that like the
It was
prisoners
embarrassing.
somehow. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
either
embarrassing,
way,
but
she
like,
was like,
but yeah, right. She should have been
erase
protesting
it.
before. Like, why would you want your name on a prison shuttle? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
know.
Don't have that name. Don't
It's
associate that when you look my
yeah.
name up in the future.
Mm-mm.
But yes, at this point,
So the Gloria
Holmes,
Riley Scott. Or
the
Gloria Scott
alarms.
Riley.
Yes,
Yeah.
Gloria Scott Riley. And for Holmes, the alarms are going off in his
Oh
head.
yeah. Yeah. He's having one of his
And
mind palace moments, I bet.
exactly, it's like
Evidence is flying.
everywhere.
It's like Mr.
The
Krabs
evidence,
meme and the lady with the calculations
the
at the same
evidence is
time.
flying like his hover car shrapnel was flying earlier. Okay. The flames,
Yeah.
the same.
All
And
around.
all around. And Holmes looks up at the screen that Lestrade had pulled up where she had been looking up Edward and Hudson. And he
Hmm.
sees, yes, the picture of Victor's dad up there, the name Edward Trevor, and the name underneath it, James Armitage, which, if you
Mm.
didn't catch before, also the initials J.A. tattooed
Oh
on Edward's
yeah.
arm,
Yeah.
and a barcode, which is the
Yeah.
same that
Your
all
prison
prisoners
numbers or whatever.
get tattooed on them. Yep, his prison
Hmm.
numbers.
Yeah.
So at this point, yeah, Holmes and
Wow.
Victor again is just like
I
everything in my
now
life
see why
has
he does
fallen
not like
apart.
to talk about the tattoo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And also, wow, I now see why he does not like to talk about anything
Yeah.
more than 25 years ago.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
I still stand by our lore, though. I think this was some sort of false flag mission. They were actually
Hey,
soldiers that were sent to the moon and they escaped their mission.
I was gonna say they could have been POWs. We don't I didn't
Exactly.
say who was taking them to the moon.
Hmm. Or they mutinied, which is why they're also considered criminals now, too. I don't
Yep,
know.
we don't
Something
know.
like that.
We don't
Just
know.
saying. Yeah.
Prisoners are still people are still put in jail during war, you know?
Oh, yeah, all the
That
time.
doesn't
Yeah.
mean the war wasn't happening. Just saying.
Right.
So,
Uh-huh.
you know what? They could have also been on the moon side. We don't know, but they were
We don't know.
nobody knows because the
No
records were
one.
gone
Because exactly because
from
everything
the
was
war.
destroyed 25 years ago.
Yes, we just
Yeah.
don't know. So Lestrade is like, "Oh, what's happening exactly?" And
Hmm.
Holmes is like, "No time to explain. You got
Hmm.
to like pause that ship. There's one more person we need to like there's another prisoner we need to put on that ship." And then he looks at Watson and says, "Hey, I need you to run by like the basically the New Scotland Yard like kennels, like police dog kennels,
Oh,
and get
yeah.
something for me.
Oh
We'll
gosh.
meet up at the ship in like T minus 10 minutes because that ship's leaving in 15 minutes." So
Mm.
we don't exactly see what's what this whole plan like breaking down
Yeah.
into is happening. But we do cut to the ship itself, where
Hmm.
Hudson
Preparing
and
for
Edward
takeoff.
are, yeah, preparing for takeoff, and Hudson and Edward are, of course, arguing very aggressively. Hudson
Mm.
is obviously fucking pissed that
Yeah.
Edward gave up their game, and he's
It's like
like,
we
"What,
were
you
so
think you're
close.
so high and mighty? Like, you think you're so self-righteous?" And Edward is like over Hudson's bullshit. He's like, "Look, it's not my fault that once we got back on Earth, like, you continued to be a fuck up. Like, you should have gone
Hmm.
clean.
It's a
Like,
second chance, man.
exactly. And like, you
Yeah.
fucked it up. It's not my fault. You dragged me into this shit once. I won't let you do it again." And Hudson is like, if
Good
they
for
ever
him.
found out what happened on the Riley, like they'd lock you right up forever.
Oh,
And now,
oh,
Alexis,
yoy. I need
let's
those
talk about
tapes.
what happened
What happened
on the
on the
Riley.
Riley? Yeah, okay. I'm glad they explain it.
So we get a flashback, which I'm going to tell you, to be totally honest, happened at the very beginning of the episode, and I
Okay,
just didn't tell you until right now.
cool.
So,
That works.
yeah, so it happened 25 years ago. Like we said, there was a transport vessel bound for the lunar penal colony, which, like, very British of them. Again, we hate to see it happen.
Yeah.
History repeats
Yeah.
itself. We've been
History
over this.
repeats. Yet
And
again.
a much younger Edward, maybe 25 years younger, we should say.
Oh,
Um,
give or take.
Give or
Who's
take
counting?
exactly that amount. And a much younger Hudson, who, they got their real names at this point. They're
Okay.
both dressed in orange jumpsuits. And we
Oof.
cut in right in the middle of the action where Edward is begging Hudson to stop. He says, like, "Don't do this, like, stop now. You could still like get out, like get off easier. Like, this is going too far." And what we
Mm.
see by this is Hudson actively tying up yet another guard and taking his gun from him. because we cut in the
Oh,
middle of a prison riot
oh,
that's happening on the
great.
shuttle.
Oh boy. Okay.
So Hudson, though, points the gun at Edward and laughs, saying, yeah, yeah, not good.
Why didn't they put them into like stasis, like cryostasis or something? I know it doesn't take that long to
Uh,
get to the moon, but you don't want to take any chance of this
Alexis,
happening.
Alexis, the
Yeah,
resources are scarce during the war.
that's right during the
Okay?
wars. Yeah. Yep.
Resources need to be put in other places.
It's
They
like
don't
the
care about the prisoners. It's wartime. Just get them to the moon.
exactly.
We don't care how they get there. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
And
Ask
we,
not what you can do, what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
and Hudson said,
Sacrifice all of your things so that we can win these moon
yes,
wars.
exactly. And Hudson shot Uncle Sam at that point.
Yeah.
Hudson did not give a fuck about that. So Hudson points the gun at Edward, and we hear a familiar sentiment, which is again, what? You think you're better than me? You're in here too, Edward. Like you're locked up just like the
Oh,
rest of us
damn.
are. You're
The
not,
girls are
you ain't better than
fighting.
me.
Yeah.
But at this, Edward starts begging more, saying, like, but I'm not supposed to be in here. Like, I'm innocent and like I'm about to go up for appeal. If I'm caught up in this fucking riot, like I'm losing, I will never get out. Like, they won't care if I'm innocent or not. Like,
Hmm.
they're not gonna let me go at this point.
Yeah.
And Hudson is like, that's what they all say. Like, okay, honey, like, sure, you're innocent. And he chucks the
Sure.
keys that he's stolen from the guards to Edward and says, but now, and like points at the keys, you're one of us. You're part of this like
Mm.
prison riot now. Like, even if you're innocent, I don't see you in a cell anymore. You're going
Yep.
down with us.
Hmm.
And with the gun still pointed at him, he tells Edward to go unlock the rest of the cells. And so Edward takes the keys and starts running like down another one of the halls that Hudson told him to go down. But as he's going, he passes like a communications room, like one of the rooms, where he quickly runs in and is able to send an emergency transmission. And he says, we're on a prison ship bound for the moon. There's a riot. Send help. Send help.
Mm.
But the
Mm.
responding like other line is like asking for their position because they're out in space. There's a lot of ships going on out there.
Yeah. Where you
They
at? Where
don't.
you at? Space is
Yeah,
big.
yeah, it's pretty big. Gotta be a little more specific than that. But before Edward can say anything, he hears other prisoners running down the hall. He's not supposed to be in this emergency room. He's supposed to be freeing other
Mm.
people. So
Hmm.
he has to act quick, and he like hears Hudson stop in front of the door and start to open it up. So thinking quick, Edward grabs something heavy, like I don't know, a piece of equipment or something like that, and smashes this communication system so that when they come in and Hudson's like, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" Edward is like, "I'm destroying this so no one can find us. Like no one can send like I don't know, an emergency signal out like a rat would." Ha ha ha. Am I right, guys? Am I right, guys? So,
Right? You guys totally buy it, right? Right?
right?
Right? He
So,
could have come up with a better line
he
and
could come up with a
not
better
destroyed
line
the emergency communication system
and
at the
not
same
destroy the
time.
system.
Yeah,
But
but
yes,
whatever.
he instead
Panicked.
destroyed all of it. And Hudson at this is like, I knew you were one of us. So,
All right. You might be pretty good after all.
yeah, yeah. So, Alexis, we see a prison riot, like not
Yeah,
play
straight
by
up
play, but
in
they
space.
do, yeah, get a lot of guns, which means all of
Oof.
the officers go down. And then we see them blast open the like captain's quarters, like the final control room where the rest of the crew had like holed up in,
Hmm.
and they're demanding that that they turn the ship around and go back to Earth, and they're saying like there's not enough fuel, like we're too close to the moon, like if we turn around, like we can't get back to Earth right now, like we
Oh,
have to finish going to
yeah.
the moon.
Yeah.
And the prisoners are like, okay, well that's fine because there's escape pods, just enough for all of us prisoners and not enough for the rest of you.
Mm.
And so As they start to load into the escape pods, which they are setting for Earth, we do see Hudson blast the controls, like the steering of the ship.
Hmm.
And so no one can steer that ship anymore.
Well, okay, 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 okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
okay.
He's like blasting the computers.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I just feel like that's overkill. I mean, you're gonna
Yeah.
escape. You don't need to, whatever. This guy's crazy. All right, he's.
Yeah, you're trying to reason with Hudson,
Yeah, I shouldn't. Sorry.
you crazy motherfucker. And yes, they all jump out into those escape
Hmm.
pods. And we see the crew realizing that their emergency response communication system
Hmm.
is
Destroyed.
destroyed. So they
Yep.
can't send out their position.
Oh,
And
that's
we hear
terrible.
the full rest of that hazy transmission that we heard at the very beginning that I started with. As we see
Uh,
this shuttle go completely dark and start drifting off course, we hear like the crackling. This is a prison shuttle. Prisoners escaped. Damage to guidance system. Drifting. Radio disabled. We are doomed.
ooh,
And again, it cuts out
ooh.
there.
That's
And
there. That's that.
I think that's the whole Hudson saying if they ever found out what really happened on the Riley, aka, yeah, Edward, it is kind of your fault that they couldn't send for help because they lost the
Hmm.
emergency
Or
communication
they probably
system.
couldn't even put on any sort of like tracking sort of thing. So it's
Yeah,
like not only could they call anyone, but they probably couldn't even
like signal any
be
in any
sense exactly,
variety.
or like the right,
Yeah,
like you probably couldn't even pick up a signal from the ship. So
yeah.
even if someone was
So
trying to search for them without getting a direct communication from them, they
yeah,
probably were unreachable.
yeah. So that's the
That's
whole. They found out what
sad.
happened.
And yeah, that's a mass casualty event. We'll
Gosh,
just leave it at that.
that I would say is exactly the scene we've left on the ship is exactly how a sci-fi horror movie starts in our time,
Yeah,
2026. Like that's the
yeah,
starting of who knows
literally.
what the fuck's about to
No
happen there.
communication. Right,
Yeah.
right.
So,
Which that's
um,
like literally how a lot of the
exactly.
well, yes, that's happened before, and we'll put it that way. That's happened before in some sci-fi movies. We've lost communications, and then the next thing they see, there's an alien attacking their
Exactly. And
ship.
that is a spin-off show I'd love to see. This crew spin-off
Absolutely.
show.
Yeah.
They've
Just
escaped the Great
call it
Moon War, but at what cost? You know?
the Gloria Scott Riley. That's just the name
Oh,
of the show. Boom.
I would love it.
Done. It's just about
Trademark.
them
We're
loose
writing
in
it.
space. It's ours. It's us. Except also, isn't that the name of one of the Sherlock books? At least is Gloria Scott.
Yeah,
Isn't that? Yeah.
we'll
Anyways, blah,
workshop
blah.
it. We'll workshop
Well,
it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Although
I don't know.
that's public domain
I
now.
was
Yeah.
say Creative
Fuck it.
Commons. We can do whatever we
Yeah.
want. Fuck it.
Bring it back. Trademark.
Yeah.
Ours.
Undo our undoing. We're back. Trademarked.
Exactly.
Reverse Uno. We're back here.
Boom. Yeah.
So this
Wow. What a
stroll down
backstory.
traumatic memory lane
Hmm.
is cut off between the two of them when their prison door on this current shuttle, or back in present day, opens and another prisoner in an orange jumpsuit suit gets chucked in who like I'm not even going to pretend it's so obvious when you watch it. It's Holmes just with a beard on and an eye patch.
Okay. Well, at least the eye patch too. That helps a little bit.
You got the eye patch. She's got the beard.
Hmm.
He is giving like David Tennant a little bit, and so I was like,
Okay.
"Oh, he dashed it up a little bit. Look at David Tennant." And
Nice.
like, "Okay,
Okay.
go off."
Yeah.
But the disguise is good enough. David Tennant's that good of an actor that
Of
Hudson and
course, which he
Edward
is.
don't recognize him in any way, shape, or form.
Nice.
This strapping
I've
bearded
only
man
met
is
him
now
like
in
three
there,
times, Grace. How
and
much can you really
there was a lot going on.
grasp?
Hudson
Yeah.
was on the
Right. It's
run.
been a busy day.
Edward was at least being extorted for, the whole situation of like
Yeah. Yeah.
the prisoner, the Hudson basically getting out of prison again, and the other guy, the car bomb guy, being like, "Hey, you owe us." Basically, he was actually being blackmailed of being like, "You
Yeah.
owe us. You got to set us up now that we're out. Like, help us out here."
Yeah.
Make me in charge of your
What?
company, or I'll tell them, I'll turn you in basically for what happened on the Gloria Scott Riley. So, blackmail was happening.
Fair. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
any Swayzes, this is also crazy because they're just like roaming about in this like kind of like storage looking part of the ship. They're not in cells, which I was like, certainly at least one of these men has escaped prison twice.
Yeah.
Did you
Not not
lock it
crazy to
down?
think he might escape a third time,
Not crazy.
unless you take precautions to prevent that from
And
happening, which doesn't
Alexis,
look like. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
immediately starts putting together his plan to escape for a third time.
He's like itching for it. This is like his thing. It's like
He
he gets locked up so
loves,
that he can figure out how to escape. He's
this
like,
is his
he lives for
passion
the
in life.
challenge. Yeah.
Some people love stamp collecting. Some people
Love
love
butterflies.
pickleball,
Yeah.
butterflies. Some people love escaping from nearly impossible prison situations.
Hmm.
And you know what? Some people are good at it because Hudson
And he's some people.
is Hudson is some people, let me tell you. He is able to extract from like, I don't know, some piece of equipment, a metal wire, and he like bends it in kind of like a U shape. And
Mm.
Holmes is like, "Oh, what could you possibly be doing? Aren't you the famous guy who escaped all of these different prisons? Like, how'd you do it?"
Super chill, man. Good work.
What could you possibly be doing, my good sir? And Hudson is explaining as he does all of this that some people have a photographic memory, but Hudson,
Oh.
has an autographic memory with hearing that's as sharp as a dog's. And he
Hmm.
explains that
Mm.
they've prisons smartly moved away from just like a digital keypad or like a little actual lock and key, and most prison cells are keyed into with a series of autotronic pulses, so basically like a certain like high frequency signal,
Okay.
and if you're able to imitate that signal you can unlock anything. So basically
Interesting.
if you can hear the right notes you can unlock it, but you got to have hearing that's as sharp as a dog's, which, they can hear
Hmm.
on like a different scale than
It's
we can.
interesting. A lot of things are like sound based in this universe, probably because nobody knows how to read or write in the year
The
2106 after the
records
events,
were
after the
destroyed
Great War. Exactly.
after
Because
the
that
event.
reminds me of like the burst message in my last episode, I think. Was it
Yes.
my,
Yeah, that you
yeah,
had
where
to
they
like
were like,
hear that
yeah, some
certain
sound
signal.
encryption or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh.
Which
Interesting.
is good
Like, we
until
don't
you
know how
get
to
a man like
fucking write
Hudson.
reports. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
true. True.
That
Yeah.
can unlock anything because he can hear it. So if he can like
Hmm.
find those right tones, he can unlock all of these doors, which is how he basically got out of the prison shuttle and this most
Yeah.
recent escape. That's how he was able to take out the force field because he knew like the again like
The sound.
ultrasonic
Yeah.
like sound key for it.
Did he like freak out at those dogs barking or something
Freaked out at
too?
those dogs
Which,
barking.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Huh.
So
Interesting.
as Hudson works to like get the tones right, he basically has to like go like practice to like see if he can like get it and like work with different equipment he can find to like get the right like notes. Holmes pulls Edward aside and tells him it's him. He's like, "Hey," he like lifts the eye patch up. "It's me, Holmes." And Edward is probably like, "Who the fuck is that?" Like,
What?
you were a man in my house the other day.
I
Okay.
just met you. I don't what who? What?
Yeah,
Where's my is
you
my
were
son here? What do you
Yeah, was
what
my
are we
son hanging out with
doing?
another like a criminal? Oh God, he's just like me. Like I don't
Yeah.
care. Okay, but yes, he reveals himself to Edward and is basically like, just follow my lead. And he also is like, "Hey, we got some time to kill. Can you let me know what happened on that ship, just in case we don't make it out of here," kind of thing. Like, tell me
Hmm.
how you guys like got out of here. And yes, like Edward retells the story that I just told you, also confirms
Hmm.
that yeah, like it was Hudson who's able to figure out the like alarm system on that ship. Um, and he also explained, he doesn't explain why he was on the prison ship, but he does explain that, like, yes, like I was falsely convicted of some like financial crime or something like that. which
Oh,
is why I was
sure.
put on
Sure.
there. And yeah, he explains everything I've already explained. But
Okay. Huh.
it's time for their
So he
little
is innocent, quote
was
unquote. What?
innocent
Yeah.
and then doomed a
Yeah.
crew to oblivion. So,
Yeah.
action still
It
consequences here.
happens. Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Huh.
But at this point, Hudson has figured out the tones and he's able to, he like hits that little metal thing he had done like perfectly. No one else can hear like the noise happen. But
Yeah.
that prison door cell opens right up. Of course, there had been a guard outside of it who turns, and Hudson immediately is able to take him down and take the gun from him and tie him up.
Hmm.
And he starts to run because he's now going like either to let other prisoners out or go straight for the crew. And Holmes tells Edward to like follow his lead, and they start running after Hudson. Who, yeah, as Hudson's going down this hallway, he is blasting doors left and right. So he's doing another prison riot. He's like, strength
Yeah.
in numbers, let's fucking go. I
He's
just
like,
helped
yeah,
last
what's
time.
another prison riot? Might as well. It's been 25 years. I gotta stretch these
He
rioting
says,
bones out.
it's my passion.
It's been so long.
It's been so long.
Number one passion, breaking out of prison.
Yeah,
Number
no,
two passion, starting a riot in prison.
starting a prison riot.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand. It's nice when
Yeah.
your passions complement each other, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. When one just
You know
naturally
what?
progresses into the other.
If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
You know? Prison riot, being out of prison, same thing.
It's not work.
So, not work for Hudson. So, yes, they follow Hudson up into the main like control crew room where the captain is, and it's the same routine.
Mm.
He's saying like they're about to take all the escape pods and get the fuck out of there. Don't stop them. He is about ready to shoot once again all of the control systems, emergency system, communication system still intact because Edward didn't destroy it this time.
Yeah.
But he's about to disable at least their navigation system. And Edward is once again begging him to stop, saying they don't have to do this. And Hudson is like, I don't need you this time. Like, fuck, stay on the shuttle. Like, I don't care what you do. Like, you've already ratted me out once. Like, I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about you. Like, but I'm taking the escape pod out of here. But he also says, which I was like, this is a fucked up line. He says, yeah, you can stay on the shuttle, but it's a long ride to nowhere as he
Oh.
aims to shoot at the navigation system.
Oh. God.
But at this point, Edward's got something to live for. He's got a wife and kid, business.
Oh yeah.
He's got a
Yeah.
whole fucking life on Earth. And
Exactly. Redemption.
redemption. Edward fucking snaps. He attacks Hudson. He like leaps on him, tackles him to the ground.
Mm.
Hudson in this like huge brawl is like shooting the gun left, right, and center, which is very dangerous. The
Very
crew
in space.
scattered, like they're
Yes.
ducking under tables, like
Like,
they do not know what the fuck to do.
we are not dealing with this today.
No,
Yeah.
that captain had one more day till retirement. This was his last,
Yeah.
his last
Aw, poor
crew of
guy.
prisoners to bring.
Yeah.
But Sherlock, he's not getting involved in that dirty brawl down there. With a wry smile, he gets out, kind of high tech looking, but you kind of clocked it earlier, a dog whistle.
Ah.
Because he realized that's why all of the dogs had been barking way earlier. It wasn't from the yelling, because dogs barking wouldn't have hurt someone to like the extent
No,
that it had hurt
not
Edward.
generally. No.
Yeah. And it was weird that all of the sudden, every dog on the street all at once started barking.
Yeah,
And so
true. I didn't really clock that.
Sherlock had
Well,
put
although,
together.
sometimes it is a chain effect, though, too.
Exactly.
Sometimes
That's
you hear,
what I
yeah,
was.
yeah,
That's
that's
what I
not
was saying.
super
But
abnormal.
Sherlock's gonna
Yeah.
Sherlock, and yes, he had
Hmm.
realized that someone probably blew a dog whistle, and so that's what he
Hmm.
had Watson go get from the like canine kennels of New Scotland Yard was a
Oh,
dog
man. I thought
whistle.
they were going to sick a bunch of like
I
German
know,
shepherds on.
same.
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
oh no,
also
please
because they're
don't.
probably robo dogs at this point, you know.
Oh, yeah, so that's really bad. They're like
Yeah,
those fucking like Boston Dynamic dogs
exactly.
instead
As
that
if we
like
already have them. They're
just like
way worse
run
now in the
on
year
force. Like,
2103.
yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So, yes, Sherlock blows into that dog whistle that
Mhm.
immediately crumples Hudson to the ground, giving Edward
Good.
the chance to grab the gun. Hudson is like on the ground, begging for the noise to stop. And yes, they're able to capture him, like actually fully arrest him, hopefully put him in a like old school cell, not a
Yeah, can we
audio.
like restrain hands and
Yeah,
legs? I hate to say it, but like
definitely.
clearly this guy is dangerous.
This
Like
guy is
this
very
isn't
dangerous.
something we should do for every old prisoner, but this guy has
But this
caused
guy,
two riots and three prison breaks at least that we
exactly.
know of.
Yes, at
So,
least. We don't know what he was up to in
yeah.
the intervening 25 years. We only saw the
So
most recent
let's
prison breakout, you know?
mhm, mhm.
So,
Maximum restraints.
yes. So, yes, they're able to capture him and save the crew and the whole ship, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And we do see, and this is interesting here, we got a quick thought at the end of this, but we
Hmm.
do see, again, captured, sent off to the moon, hopefully better accommodations, more secure accommodations.
Yeah, yeah.
And we see
Don't let them out again.
Edward get reunited with his son. Like they, Edward's not in restraints and is back on Earth
Okay.
seeing
So he's let out.
Victor. But Lestrade is like, "Aw, a felon and son reunion." Like
Oh,
Lestrade is like,
uh,
"Yeah, you've been on the
you're
run for
still a
fucking
criminal in my eyes,
25
buddy.
years." Which, you know
Yeah.
what? I gotta say, I was like very satisfied because Lestrade basically says like she'll vouch for his like good behavior and helping stop this
Oh, yeah.
other riot,
Yeah.
which to me means this motherfucker's still going to trial because he did do him a whole ship still
I
to
mean, yeah,
oblivion and was a part of a prison riot and was on the lam for 25 years. So like
exactly. Even if he
we don't
tries to say all that stuff about like, no, no, I was trying to call for
yeah,
help, but
but
then
you
I got scared,
still
and it's like, yeah, but you still did it. And
no one
actions still have
yeah, no one
consequences.
made you smash that system. No one made you
Exactly.
leave
Like I
your
said, he
cell.
could
You
have
could have
thought of a
saved your cell.
couple. I could think of a couple of other things he could have at least tried
Mhm.
to tell them. Like, oh, no, no, no. Like, don't you know these prison ships have to send communication
On a
signals back
regular
to home base on a
basis.
regular basis? I was just doing that so no one
Yes.
gets, you know,
Suspicious.
suspicious of what's
And I was
going
making sure,
on.
and give me a gun just in
Yeah.
case a guard comes in here. I can take him out to
Right.
make
I
sure they
can kill
don't
him.
send a
Yeah. Or
different
shoot him.
signal.
Sorry for the YouTube algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So, like,
Exactly.
crazy. But yeah, it does seem like
Anyways.
he is going to have to face the music a little bit here, which I was
Hmm.
satisfied with. But again,
He can pay for the best lawyers anyway. He'll get community service. He'll be fine.
exactly. And like Lestrade's going to
Yeah.
back him up a little bit. Yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada. But,
Sherlock will too, probably,
yeah,
to
at
the
least
extent that he
like,
likes to help.
yeah, yeah, he's like,
He's like, I'm not
this
going to
is off my
court.
mind now.
Court. I'm not
Ugh,
going to court.
gross. Boring.
Ew.
I'm smarter than
Why'd I
all
do
those
that?
lawyers, anyways.
Yeah.
Yawn,
Judges.
yawn.
Yuck. Yeah. Yeah. That's all he would do. Yawn. I'm going back to Baker Street.
Yeah, let's see you
Anyways.
losers.
Yeah.
So, that's the end of this episode. It's kind of a nebulous
Wow.
ending about the fate
Yeah.
of this
He'll
family.
be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine
I think
though.
we clocked it. Yeah.
Yes, but I will say the
Wow. Great
nebulous-ish
story.
ending. Yeah, this is a great episode. I loved
Hmm.
watching this episode. But I gotta tell you the story it's based on,
Oh, yes,
which
please do.
also had a very nebulous ending, which is why I think this one was like
Mm,
slightly nebulous at the end of
a
like, and now what
callback.
happens kind of
Yes.
thing.
Hmm.
So yes, this was based on The Adventure of the Gloria Scott, which was a short story in
Yes.
1893. And apparently, in like, it wasn't the first Sherlock story to come out, but in like the canon, like the timeline of Sherlock's life, this was like his first like case, quote unquote, ever.
Oh,
And this short
oh,
story is told by Sherlock's POV because Watson wasn't there in his earlier life.
around. Yeah.
So during
Interesting.
university, Sherlock, I guess for like the summer month or something, spent a month at his friend's estate. His friend named Victor Trent or Trevor, whatever it
Hmm.
was. So apparently, though, while he's there, they realize that Victor's dad is getting blackmailed by a man named Hudson, who's from his past and showed up out of nowhere to take advantage of Victor's dad and is blackmailing him, which is slowly like eating away at his father.
Draining their wealth. Oh.
Yeah, and draining their wealth, but like that's slowly
Oh,
like killing him from the stress, basically.
gotcha.
And so, like, through, lots of investigating, Holmes is
Hmm.
able to confirm the blackmail is over a time that Victor's dad was arrested for financial crimes and put on a ship called the Gloria Scott, which was bound for Australia, a once British penal colony. And during that voyage, a
Hmm.
big prison riot happened. The ship was taken over. Victor's dad
Ah,
was drawn into the plot. Um, Many of the crew were actually murdered during this prison riot.
okay, which they
They
alluded to in this episode. Yeah.
exactly they were able to escape on lifeboats, but not before blowing up the ship, which
Oof.
erased all of the witnesses. So that's the equivalent of it floating off into
Drifting into
oblivion.
space. Yeah.
And so, yes, the prisoners escape with their lives. They're able to separate and live in peace until Hudson showed up again to blackmail Victor's dad about all of this, to like extort him for money.
Hmm.
But after all of this, all of a sudden, once they piece it together, Victor's dad and they're gone. They can't find them. But there is a single note that's left that says the game is up. And it's theorized, Sherlock theorizes that this note was left by Hudson to Victor's dad, basically saying, like, because I think they started fighting back. And the note was
Yeah.
basically a threat saying, like, I told everyone, like, what you did,
Yeah.
that you were part of this riot. Like, the game's up. Your innocent life you built is about to be crushed. And so,
Mhm.
again, these two men disappear. And it ends with Sherlock assuming that Victor's dad saw the note, was like, oh, I'm fucked, murdered Hudson, and then fled to restart his life. And that's the end of the story.
Whoa. Oh,
So,
that's cold.
yep. And that's what
Okay.
Sherlock thinks happened.
So, so then we can presume, like, yeah, that's probably what happened. But the open-endedness of it's like, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Um,
They're never seen or heard from again, like
I
either of these two men.
I think this is another example where I like the 22nd century version,
Yeah.
like their rewrite better than the
Yes.
original.
So did I.
Yeah, just they add some interesting little extra nuggets there that are
Yes.
so wait, so okay, so those notes were written by Hudson, right? Yeah, they were written by Hudson to Edward, like the game is up, all that stuff in the were
In
they
in
I guess
the actual
um
story, yes, but in
I get I
our
yeah.
story, we don't know. It's not
Okay,
clear,
got
but I
it.
assume so because it's like threats
Yeah.
and like hidden within uh Edward's
The
papers.
like
Although the last one
mhm.
is signed your father, but I still think it was like a threat. I think the
Mhm.
first one was definitely from Hudson because it was like a threat about the Gloria
Mhm.
Scott. And
Yeah.
then the second one's not really clear who would have written the game is up. Like,
Okay.
would that have been like saying to his son, like, I'm so sorry, the game is up, or was that Hudson threatening him? We don't know. It's never
Yeah, but
really
it being signed
clear.
from the father is makes it strange. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I was just trying to tie that in. Like, was that based off of the book too, or was that? Yeah,
I think
I like
just
how they do the
the
little
game is
Easter
up
eggs.
being
Yeah,
the connection to it. So
yeah, interesting.
yeah.
Wow, good
There you
job.
go.
Great job.
Thanks.
That
Yeah, it
was
was a really
interesting.
crazy episode. And
I'm
again, the
excited to
episode
watch this one.
starts with the prison break on the shuttle, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck,
Let's circle
this
back to that
shit.
after we lay some
Yes. I'm like, this shit's
let's
about to
lay
get
some foundation, some
crazy.
exposition here before we jump on into a prison riot, shall
Yeah,
we? Yeah.
exactly.
On
So
this children's
yes.
Saturday morning cartoon
Yes, it's a very
show.
calm, normal show. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was wild. And very fun episode. It's
Awesome.
my favorite episode of the show so far. And Alexis, next week we'll be back with your
Yeah.
final episode for now, of course, of Sherlock Holmes 22nd Century. But between
Hmm.
now and then, who should our listeners and viewers tell about our show?
Um, you should tell. I don't, have we done a businessman before? Not really sure what the business of
Oh,
Edward was, but I don't know. He seems like a
I think it was
magnate.
tech.
right?
It was tech
Oh,
things.
it was tech. All right, yeah. So no, don't tell a tech magnate. They suck.
We don't want that down.
No, yeah, it's like actually they're not allowed in the tent. No, tell. We've I think have we done prison guard? I don't know. Tell a prison guard.
We've done prisoners before, I think. I don't know. We've done
have we? Oh man, that's crazy. That's wild.
We've been in jails before in this show, you know? We've been there.
Well, tell the prison guard now, I guess, if we haven't said that. Who should they tell after that?
I think you should tell someone who knows how to do like emergency radio communications. Like who can, you know, the is it? You can like get one of our friends is like certified in it, which is cool. Of like,
oh really? Like
how to actually
or something?
Yeah. It's like how you can actually be on like those like emergency like radio systems and stuff that like,
oh wow,
like even like truckers will use and all that kind of stuff. So I can't remember what it's called, but that's the thing.
Yeah, there is like a code that they use.
Yes.
In a lot of
Sorry
ways,
to my friend who I can't remember what the name of that is, but tell people to do that. And
drop it in the comments if you do know the name of it.
Over the air to all the other people on the wave. It's not an abuse of your power at all.
No, not at all. And truckers need something to listen to. So hey, and other people responding to emergency crises, I'm assuming, need something to listen to. God, the screaming
back in this ambulance is so loud after that car
so
bomb.
Loud,
Saturday
so
morning
boring.
Mysteries.
Yes.
So yes. Well, till we see y'all next week. Till then,
for our final episode of Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.